Доброго времени суток, приветствую вас на канале Галактика Геймеров. Мы продолжаем прохождение игры Vampyr.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Так, тихо, куда ты? Назад. Там, кажется, тут пришел, да? О, ты чё вся в кровище-то, подруга? Да пойдем.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Нет
What
антисептиков.
type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Так, сперва поднимем статы, а потом уже будем разбираться с проблемами в районах. Так, не восстановился. О, уже должно быть попроще. Ох ты, ни хрена себе. Пальнул. Да сдохни, сволочь. Да мать твою. Резвый какой, а? Сука. Места мало. Да, довольно жесткие противники. Всего 10 опыта. Да вы издеваетесь. 5 за этого, 10 за того. Я его еле замочил. Вы что, шутите, что ли? Так, как бы так этого по-хитровански согреть. Иди сюда. Лич, иди сюда. Во, тоже вариант. Ах ты мразь. Блин, гори уже. Что, сквозь дверь никак? Да, открыть мозгов не хватает, да? Ну давай, давай. Ну что делать? Силу не получается, придется хитростью. Ну, у кого пошли? Идите сюда. Я ж тут. Эх, жалко, крови мало тянет. Кого ж вы тупые-то такие, а? Давай, давай, иди сюда. Так уже лучше. Да, тихо ты. Мне кажется, что они тут не единственные. И мне не кажется, да? Ну, там, сколько их там? Он один? Ну, с одним-то справлюсь. Вот это не самые сильные ребята. Готов. Что за кол? Что дает оглушение на 20-ку? Угу. Выносливости 35 жрет, да? Серьезно? Она вампир? Предатель из братства? Ну да. А я балерина. Так, это все пригодится в хозяйстве. Так, вроде все. Чья это хата? Любопытно. Ух ты, кровище. Так, ну стой. Угу. У него напал упырь.
I cannot enter.
То бишь скаль. Давай, открывай. Твою мать. Готов. Ладно, сейчас разберемся. Вроде все пока, да? Что это за... Успокойся, истеричка. Там же никого нет. Так.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Ну, окей. Простуда, а у меня все равно средства нет. Ладно, может, в следующий раз захвачу. Ну-ка, это что
This
такое?
is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Средство от слепоты, что знакомо. С крыс не лечусь, получается. Так. Тут у нас что хорошего? А, убежище еще одно, да? Ясно. Так. Поглядим, что там кому надо было. По районам простуда. Неизвестно. Переутомление. Окей. А, хрена, да? Перманганата калия нету. От переутомления. Одно есть. Ладно, как только так сразу. Лич, лич. Катик, ты, ёб твою мать. Отвратительный таргетинг. Говном кидаются, блядь. Так, все, нахер, ходу. Слышь, он с этим воюет. Во-во, давайте, давайте. Охотнички, блядь. О, сбежалась-то, а? Слишком много. Да отцепись от него нахер. мало крови берет. Очень мало. Так, двумя засранцами меньше. Лич, иди сюда уже. На, тащи. Да как ты хотел-то? Так, теперь ты иди сюда. Да ебаный ты в рот. Шкурукастый. Так, что-то пока от ножа толку мало. Проще с ног сбивать и жрать. Так это местные легенды, что ли? Да, похоже, что он потолще будет. Так, ну что, братан, ты последний остался. Ладно, хер с тобой. Намучаюсь с ними еще. Там внизу, кажется, что-то рычал. А, ну точно. Причем вон там стоит охотник. А, нет, упырей здесь нету. Но появится. Ладно, далековато я забрел. Рановато еще сюда. Да, вот там был охотник. Окей. Так, тихо, тихо, тихо. Что беру? Как понос резвая. Фу, блин. Да, я никак не ожидал встречать вот эту хреновину. Ну, пора грейдить уже оружие.
It's locked.
Добыть крови по дороге. Мерзко, что делать? Да куда побежала-то, где она? Штука, что тут было? Угу. Здесь мы крови раздобудем. Можно было, конечно, его проигнорить, запрыгнуть наверх сразу. Так, нет, в углу зажмут, мало не покажется. Вот и кончилась выносливость, да? Жри напоследок. Хорош доктор. Людей жрет, по помойкам лазит. Красавчик просто. Вроде тишина. Ну-ка. А я тут бывал, не? Сейчас проверим. Да, был я здесь. Простуда. Чё он тут сидит? Шел бы уже отсюда. Чё, так и будешь тут сидеть?
You had better return to Whitechapel without delay. It will be safer there.
Safety isn't really an issue in Whitechapel, because you never are, never have been. The old place is falling to pieces. But thank you for the advice, sir.
Да, средств простуды у меня нету. Так это получается кружок навернул, да? Так, надо посмотреть, смогу ли я. Так, от переутомления есть, от простуды, да, не смогу, нет у меня до сих пор этой херни. Да и этой херни нету. А что же я тогда могу сделать? Перманганат калия нету его у меня. Вот. Кое-чем я все-таки могу заняться поверх того. Ну-ка, иди сюда, у тебя есть?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Да я как бы не совсем за пушкой. Дробовик хорош, да только денег нет. Где это? Сумасшедшая тетка.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reid.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
Самопровозглашенный вампир.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reid. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Может быть, но проблем-то на задницу-то уже огребла.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
Но они вроде как принимали ее за вампира. А по факту...
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Так, тут готово. Сейчас исследуем то, что она нам дала. О, ящики обновились. Отлично. Что ж, стоит их обойти.
It's locked.
Тут заперт. Тоже закрыто. Так. Я ничего не понял, куда опять делся. Отлично.
Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Ackroyd.
Раз он говорит, что она может нанести вред, можно, конечно, и с Рейдом поговорить. Вон он. Хотя... Да ладно.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid. Can I be of any help?
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
Окей, учту.
I have managed to improve the mixture by diluting it. Have you ever heard of Sir Joseph Francis Olive? Or the placebo effect?
No, I don't think so. Why?
A placebo is a substance or procedure that has no actual physical effect.
You made a placebo of my project. Why?
Research has established that a placebo, as long as the subject believes in the effect, can provoke a positive physiological reaction.
Really? That's fascinating. And you want me to, what, administer the placebo and see what occurs?
Something like that, yes.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Dr. Reid. Please take the key to my cabinet and put this placebo there for future use.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Reads me like a book.
Так, где там, что там было-то? А, нет. Так, что-то блестело, или не показалось? Точно ж блестело. Вот, зато мы получили доступ сюда. Да.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Эти заперты.
It's locked, all right. At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this formula.
Ну, уже неплохо. Так, вроде больше ничего полезного здесь не вижу. Из того, что можно достать сразу. Ну-ка, это что? Так, где он делся-то? Карта Элвуда. Карта Госпика. Мгм. С ними-то я еще не разговаривал.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reid.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Я не пойму, он врач или курьер? Сходите туда, достаньте то.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reid. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Суфражистка, что ли?
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Угу.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Have you heard rumors of blackmail going on in this hospital?
Dr. Reid, are you trying to take advantage of me?
Of course not, Mrs. Goswick. I'm just curious.
Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Наседка, что ли?
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No?
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Waste your
Так.
time with me.
Теперь разберемся с вымогателями. Так, иди сюда, подруга.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Так, у нее, значит, нету ничего по этому поводу. А куда делся второй? А, вон он.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Ну, примерно так.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reid.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reid. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the eldest patient here.
Ну что?
Goodbye, Milton.
Так, что мы еще имеем? Еще одно расследование. Погнали. Так, тут ничего полезного. Ну-ка, ну-ка. Никого нет. Плюс еще одно убежище, да?
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
Что, очередной эмо? Или год, или что-то в этом духе? Да. Так, ладно. Открыли дверь. Так, посмотрим по горожанам, кому что надо. Переутомление. Простуда. Переутомление. Создадим как минимум еще одно переутомление и простуду. Одну. Подлечу при встрече. Так, не-не-не-не, погодите. Погодите. А это заперт не будет,
It's
да?
locked.
Так, ну-ка, повнимательнее его перечитать. Угу. Так, ну у парня явно проблемы с головой. По-хорошему письмо-то надо его матери отдать. А то его выпишут, а он опять в петлю полезет. Так, иди сюда, подруга. Дело есть.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Your son asked me to find this letter, Mrs. Goswick. However, I thought it would be preferable to give it to you.
I already know what I'm going to read. Mortimer, why are you acting in this way? I have done everything I can to help you. But it's not enough.
We will talk about this letter later. I understand that you need some privacy.
Before you leave, take this for your trouble. Thanks to you, my son still has a future. Perhaps.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. Never could keep it.
Так. Какого этого переутомления? Сейчас.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Начается у нее крыша поедет.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor. For I waited for so long, hoping that the next minute would be less unbearable.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your
Ладно,
time
пусть
with
пока
me.
сидит.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Это еще что за тип?
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. Taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is... nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Канализацию полез.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reid.
Хреново дело. Интересно, куда конкретно? Ну-ка. Так, пока непонятно. Да? Куда он, интересно, ушел? Там сплошные тупики, может, туда куда-то?
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
Is this supposed to be an hospital? A pigsty would smell better.
Дом госпиталь стоило бы осмотреть, конечно. Что мне кажется, что здесь еще что-то должно быть. Ага. Да. Откуда, интересно, эта записка у них в доме, а?
It's locked, all right.
Охотнички.
Doesn't like burning, does it?
Так, еще один готов. Отлично.
Ain't safe. Watch out, boys! Fuck, he's fast! Bloody leech!
Так, -2. Тут аж трое. Лечь. А твою мать. Вот уж хрен. Там опять какая-то зверюга завывает. Ну, этот-то слабенький. Буквально пару тычек.
It's locked.
Угу.
I cannot enter.
Ни хренашеньки тут нету.
It's locked.
Так, вот мы ее и обошли, да? Так, а куда же делся его кореш? В натуре, что ли, в канализацию подался? пусто. Надо глянуть. Так, а тут у нас что? А, тут у нас ничего, да? Что я ничего не понял в таком случае. Тут тупик, там тупик. Одни тупики. Пройдемся по этой стороне. Так, ну ладно, по крайней мере, район открыли. Только творить нехрен. Одни тупики. Так, ладно, можно малость прокачаться. Хотя... Ладно. Не заметил. После каждой ночи враги становятся сильнее, поэтому... Чтобы потом не вышло так, что я совсем убить никого не смогу.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate.
He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Значит, держится за человечность. Хорошо, но от меня-то она что хочет в этом случае, действительно?
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Логично.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Серьезно?
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
We both are afflicted with a thirst for blood, Lady Ashbury. That is our nature. By vocation, we also have reason to visit the hospital. Logic dictates.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reid. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.